Oh boy, disclaimer.
Welcome one and all to Simpsons Treehouse of Horror Countdown Review. Continue watching, if you dare. Well, we've reached another milestone in the Treehouse of Horror series as we get to episode 20. Since Treehouse of Horror 10, there has been a steady decline in quality with these episodes, giving me plenty of headaches. But now we are at Treehouse of Horror 20. We may have had a few rough episodes these last few days, but now we finally have a good one. And not just a good one, but a genuinely great one with 3 well-written, entertaining and brilliant segments. Don't believe me? Let's take a look. In the intro, we see the big 4 Golden Age horror villains, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster, the Mummy and Wolfman, roaming the streets of Springfield as it is the only night they can roam free without worry. After Jimbo, Kearney and Dolph mock them for their old school costumes, they go to a costume shop and change their outfits. They then stumble across the Simpsons house during a Halloween party, get drunk and start getting busy with other women. Then their wives show up who punish their husbands before tearing off Homer's head and throwing it into a punch bowl. Homer's dead eyes then make up the title card. This was a really fun intro with a great concept. I really like seeing the Golden Age horror villains in the Simpsons universe. It did run a little bit too long, but that's only a slight nitpick. Other than that, this intro is awesome. First thing first, fuck that title. They couldn't make it any longer if they tried. From this point forward, I will be referring to this segment as Dial M. Anyway, with that out of the way, I love this segment. Personal fact, I'm a huge fan of Alfred Hitchcock, so seeing a segment based on his work is always going to be a good one in my book. After Lisa gets sent to detention by Miss Hoover for disrupting her class, she and Bart hatch a plan. He says if she ding-dong ditches Miss Krabappel for him, he will do the same to Miss Hoover for her. Lisa misinterprets this as she literally ding-dong ditches her, so she is shocked to find out Bart has other plans. This segment is fucking awesome. It mainly parodies Strangers on the Train, one of my all-time favourite movies, but does also have some other references thrown in. These include Vertigo, North by Northwest Spellbound, and Psycho. Speaking of Psycho, its music features heavily in this segment and it's wonderful. There are some very tense moments too. My favourite is when Krabappel leans through the paper cutter. The look on Lisa's face, her hesitation, the atmosphere, mwah, it's all stunning. The animation is fantastic too. All the Vertigo effects are brilliant and I love that it's in black and white, making it the first black and white segment since King Homer way back from Treehouse 3. Bart and Lisa are also fantastic in this segment. Bart is really cold and chilling here and represents the role of Bruno Anthony really well. Lisa portraying the unwilling accomplice is a perfect role for her character too. The segment ends when Lisa has had enough of Bart and decides the only choice she has is to kill him. She chases him through the school and several references to Alfred Hitchcock's films before cornering him on a roundabout. She claims she will never be like Bart and throws the knife in the air only for the roundabout to spin Bart right under where it lands, killing him. That's fucking hilarious. Mrs. Krabappel then laughs at Bart's corpse before her and Lisa walk off together. If I had one issue, it would actually be the chase sequence through the Hitchcock references. Sure, it's beautifully animated, but the only reason it exists is to just shoehorn in as many references as they can. It's a shame because the segment was perfectly fine without it. Dial M gets a 9.5 out of 10 from me. This is what a Treehouse segment should be. A fun parody of an eerie film with great violence, creepy moments, and characters that work well in their roles. It's stunningly animated too, and very funny at points. This is the first zombie segment since Dial Z for Zombies back in Treehouse 2. Krusty Burger releases a new burger called the Burger Squared, made out of cows that have eaten the meat of grade A cows. However, anyone who bites into the burger will turn into a flesh-eating zombie called a muncher. Anyone bitten by a muncher will also become one. 28 days later, I see what they did there, most of Springfield has become overrun by munchers. Bart, who is desperate for food, breaks out of the house and eats one of the tainted burgers, but doesn't change. It's discovered that he is the chosen one and could potentially be the cure for the pandemic and needs to be rushed to the safe zone immediately. This is easily the scariest segment of the episode. In fact, this is the scariest segment in the Treehouse episode for a long time. The animation and design of the Munchers is horrifying. Their sunken eye sockets, pasty skin and evil glare is the stuff of nightmares. I love the look of the rundown Springfield too. It's just so eerie, and Dr. Hibbert slowly but surely being surrounded by Munchers is a chilling scene. It's not all horror and gore though, as there are some fantastic laughs throughout. Homer's reaction to stepping outside for the first time in weeks always makes me laugh, as does his reaction to Hibbert's last wish.
If you see my wife, tell her I love her.
You mean tell her I love her, or I meaning you? I'll just high-five her.
This segment also features one of the best Apu appearances in Simpsons history. He's a legit badass who comes to save the Simpson family and help them get Bart to the safe zone. When his car gets stuck on top of a scrap heap, he risks his own life to save the Simpson family, which leads to another funny moment.
It was so noble of Apu to give his life for us.
Where are you going? You're supposed to stop at the bottom and wait for me!
Eventually the car runs out of gas and they have to take the journey on foot. The silence surrounding them as they walk in the dark is creepy as hell. Homer comes across a dead Mr. Burns, but he turns into a muncher, biting Homer, which turns him into a muncher. The family cage Homer up and make it to the safe zone, where it's revealed that the only way Bart can help is if they eat his flesh. After Marge refuses to let them eat her son, Bart comes up with an idea. Bathing in the town's food. That's nasty, though it does work and is a funny conclusion to the segment. Don't Have a Cow Mankind gets a solid 8 out of 10. It's a great parody of 28 Days Later that adapts it really well to fit with the Simpson universe, without straying too far. It's well animated and genuinely scary at points too. There's No Business Like Mo Business is a parody of Sweeney Todd. Not the film, but the musical. That's right, they made a Treehouse segment a musical. And not just a musical, but a full-on stage production, with Kang and Kodos in the audience. And it's wonderful. Mo is fed up of being lonely, but an opportunity opens itself up for him. After Homer falls through the hatch into the basement, he gets impaled onto the beer pipes. His blood seeps into the beer, making it taste better than ever. It also has an effect on Marge and makes her start to have feelings for Mo. Mo tells her Homer ran away and tries to take her for himself. What a concept! This is how a parody should be done. Take notes, Treehouse 18. It takes enough from its source material to be faithful, but also changes enough of it to become its own thing and memorable. This segment has some of the funniest moments of the episode. I love the blunders as the play goes on, such as Mo's head hitting a stage light and Homer not being in position at the right time. And all the little behind the scenes details are great too. Mo and Marge both fall into their roles perfectly. Despite Mo being a complete dick in this segment, he still comes off as likeable in an anti-hero sort of way. And Marge being the distraught wife who needs company works so well. I genuinely get a tug on my heartstrings when watching her reaction to Homer leaving her. But the main selling point is the songs. My god, these songs are better than the ones most musicals have. They're short and to the point, but sound beautiful.
Full-bodied, full-blooded.
It's such a lovely blend.
It's jolly, it's loyal, like drinking your best friend.
Huge credit to the voice cast for their fantastic singing, especially Dan Castellaneta with Homer's singing. They are also very funny. Homer's gay song really is the highlight of the segment.
I want a French kiss a Frenchman and spoon an English duke. Cause frankly dear, to not be queer just makes me wanna puke.
It all ends when one of Marge's tears falls through the floorboards and lands on Homer's head, reviving him. Seeing him walk around with the microbrew machine lodged in his back is a really cool visual, and I love the pathetic Mo ragdoll gag. Homer and Marge reunite and the whole cast from the episode sings the final line in the tune of the Simpsons theme.
We hope you enjoyed this year's Halloween show. Treehouse of Horror number XX.
No Business Like Mo Business gets a 10 out of 10 from me. This is one of the greatest segments of all time. It's original, full of imagination, funny, well written, and has some of the best musical scores I've heard. Wow! Just wow! What an episode! This is what a Treehouse installment should be. It has a perfect blend of horror, comedy, thrills, imagination, and beautiful animation. The voice work is especially brilliant in this one, and all three parodies work because they distance themselves from the source material to make something fresh and interesting. It's also very memorable and is the first installment since Treehouse 11 to have a 10 out of 10 segment. I'm giving Treehouse of Horror 20 a 9.5 out of 10. It's got everything and delivers on all cylinders. A fantastic episode for such a huge milestone. And that's it for this video and this review. Do you agree with me, or do you think I'm a crusty burger short of a muncher? What do you think of Treehouse of Horror 20? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time.